We're on.
We've hit it. We're on. Shall I say hello
You
first
say
this
hello.
time? Hello first, everybody. Because Julia sends me a link to join. She's all organised. So, yeah, here we are again for a short 30-minute session
Yes,
today.
just a quickie.
A quickie, so to say. Okay, let me dive in. And this is going to be really fun, Julia. So Helena says it would be really wonderful if you and Julia could have a podcast where you play a role play dialogue, where one of you is the eating disorder and one of you is the healthy self.
Oh, Bagsy be the eating disorder.
Oh, okay. Role play with
All right
each.
then.
You get to do the disorder
Okay.
first. Okay, so let me give you my old self. Oh my god, I'm so laughing at my old self. She's so cute. Oh my god, I'm eating chocolate again. This is so wrong. I'm going to get so fat. This is not okay. What about my blood sugar? What about diabetes? Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
you are.
Oh, no, wait. That's the eating disorder, isn't it? I've just done the wrong way around. Well, retake. Scrap that. Julia, go. Your eating disorder.
You can't eat that chocolate. You're going to get so fat. It's going to go straight on your ass and your stomach. And no one's going to like you when you're fat.
Okay, healthy self. I know, sweetheart, that this feels really hard right now and really scary. However, what do you think will happen if you did gain weight? Is it absolutely true that nobody's going to like you if you get, in your words, fat?
You know that thinner people get more friends. You know that thinner people are liked more. You know that society hates fat people.
You probably have some fair points there. However, what do you want most? Do you want freedom? Or are you here to try and fit into a mold, which is what you've been doing for however long? And how's that been going? Bit shit, really. You're not here to be normal, you're here to be free. So, what do you want most? To perhaps get more social capital, let's be honest, by staying thin. But what's it costing you? Is that what you really want?
But I keep you safe. I keep you protected. You're in control.
Really, though? Are you really in control, or do you feel like you have to abide by the rules? Is that freedom? Is that control?
I got nothing now. Healthy self won.
There we go. And this is a bit fake because it's fake.
It's hard because it's
But,
making me
but
chuckle.
I
And I'm
know
saying things that I wish.
it's the role play.
I'm also saying things that I would never say.
Yeah, I know it's weird,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, let's roll with this then. Let me give you a different one to what I was going to say.
Maybe on exercise or something.
Oh yeah, exercise one. I need to get an hour workout this morning, no matter what. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if my body hurts. I don't care if I'm busy. I need to do this exercise today.
I am feeling tired though, and as I have so many other things in the day, is it really fair to myself to push myself to do this exercise?
Yeah, but I always feel better when I do because then I can eat more.
I'm allowed to eat whether I exercise or not.
Why?
Because I'm a human being and human beings are designed to eat.
Yeah, but what about if I get fat? Which it always goes down to, doesn't it? It's always a fear of weight gain.
The people that I love and who love me will accept me regardless of my size.
Okay. But what about everyone else who might judge me when they see if I've gained weight?
Then, quite honestly, they're not my people.
Yeah. And I'm just left with, I guess, space to then choose.
Yeah.
Space to choose. So thank you, Helena, for that. That was
It
quite
was
fun,
fun.
although actually harder than
It
I
was,
thought.
yeah.
Right,
I was
wait.
like, oh, that's going to be great and really easy. But it actually wasn't, because I suppose we've done so
No.
much work on reframing and it feels so unnatural to be so unkind now,
Mm, it does.
which is
It really does. That was a harder
amazing
than I
actually when
thought.
you think about it, because that critical negative voice used to be constant and just basically the
Mm.
dialogue in my head all the time, and now it's hard to access it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's amazing, right?
yeah, absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely the same. Compassion all the way, compassion for the
Yeah,
win. And also going back to what do you want most? Because yeah, excuse me, society is fat phobic. Yeah, we're sold that thin is good and fat is bad. We're not denying that, but it depends what you want most, doesn't it? For your life, what you're living.
absolutely.
Yeah. Cool, thanks, Hannah. And I think it's easier for us to coach people around it than just pretend it's us speaking to ourselves, like you say, because we're so far away from that now. It feels weird to go back
It
to that.
does. Yeah. Um, okay, so fur recovery buddies. I don't know your actual name, sweetheart, but it's a cool name. Um, can you speak a
Yeah.
little around some of the difficult physical symptoms?
Yeah. Well, you can speak for edema in a moment because you had that really bad. For me, the physical symptoms, being out of breath really easily, then all of a sudden my eating disorder would be like, oh my God, you all of a sudden gone completely unfit and you've got no fitness left and all the years that you've done fitness are all wasted. So I was out of breath a lot. I was bloated all the time, which was really hard because, of course, we're recovering from an eating disorder where the feeling of fullness and being bigger in general is a big part of the recovery process. So just being bloated all the time, that was one of mine. Having constipation one minute, then diarrhea the next minute, then constipation, then, yeah, not really having any structure or flow, a regular rhythm, none of that. Loads of spots and acne, oily skin, swollen ankles for me, sore joints, grumpiness, being angry with people. I guess that's more of an emotional identity change, but still. Yeah. What about you?
Um, well, before I say mine, I actually did two podcasts in a row on this. I think it was episode 105 and 106. So that goes into it in detail and why it happens and what's actually going on in our bodies and everything. So if you want to know more, have a listen to those.
Mm.
Um, but I personally experienced horrendous edema where my whole body, I felt like the Michelin Man off of Ghostbusters, you know, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That was it. I felt like that.
Yeah.
I was so swollen everywhere, and it made moving really quite painful. Um, the exhaustion was just something else. It was like even just having a shower wiped me out. I just had to go and lie down after I'd had just a shower, and that was it. I was so tired.
Mm.
Um, food went straight through me. I remember saying to you, "What is the point in eating? Because my body's not getting anything.
Yeah.
It's going straight through me, and I spend most of my day on the loo." Um,
Mm.
that was horrible. I just didn't even, not that I even wanted to leave the house because I felt so self-conscious about my swollen body. But I couldn't leave the
Mm.
house because I couldn't leave the loo. And,
Mm.
um, what else is there? Oh, the brain fog was horrendous. I couldn't focus on anything. And the sweat, the night sweats and the after
Mm.
I've eaten, like about I think it was like about half an hour after I ate, I just suddenly started pouring with sweat, and I'd never sweated before in my life, really. Not even when I was doing all the exercise did I sweat. And then all of a sudden, it was just so much sweat. And just general
Yeah.
uncomfortableness of being in a body that felt different.
Mm. Yeah, a lot of physical. I mean, there's a lot more emotional stuff that goes on, but also a lot of physical stuff. So hopefully, this person has been reassured, perhaps, or gain knowledge if they weren't looking for
Yeah.
themselves. But yeah, check out Julia's 2-part episode about it in
Yeah,
depth.
it goes into a lot in that one, so yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this one, I heard a dietitian state. Oh, give me my question. I heard a dietitian state that people won't change unless they have to, and that hit me. If I wait till I have to, I may be waiting quite a while. I want to recover, but of course, I'm terrified of gaining weight. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I also got that one, so that's cool. Um,
Oh, cool.
it's of course you're terrified of gaining weight. It's part of the illness,
Mm,
and you can still do it scared and keep checking in with yourself and saying nothing bad has happened, because it's the fear of doing it rather than the actual reality. The reality of gaining weight is just that you've
yeah,
gained
that's true.
weight and nothing bad really happens. Um, it's a
Mm.
lot about the fear of the fear. What do you think?
I think that because it's easy for me because I've got the question in front of me, people won't change unless they have to. You never have to.
No, you don't.
That's the thing. That's more of like a victim mentality. You don't have to do anything, but what do you want? So, of course, want, you say you want to recover, but want and willing are two different things. We want to be millionaires. Well, that's an argument now because of what does that even mean? But in general, like we want things, but are we willing to do what it takes in order to get what we want? And that's where this quote comes to mind. Let me grasp it. Are you willing to leave behind the comfortable hell to step into the uncomfortable heaven? Because, of course, you are afraid of gaining weight. That's literally almost, not quite, almost the root of the eating disorder. So, recovery is working on that. So, you then get over that fear, but the only way to get over the fear is to walk into the fear. So, going back to the question, in short, people won't change unless they have to. And I know what the dietitian was saying, but I always reflect back to, well, what do you want? Like, do you want to be 60 years old and still counting almonds and weighing peanut butter? Do you want to be 60 years old and like not daring to put a swimsuit on and go in the sea? Do you want to be on your deathbed and look back and wish you'd actually done something different? Because I tell you this now, nothing's going to change. I thought when you get older, it just got better because you don't care because you get older. No, it just gets worse because it's more ingrained in you.
Yeah, and you always have a choice. Choices can be quite shitty sometimes, but you
Yeah.
always have a choice. So, yes, you can wait until you absolutely hit rock bottom and something forces you to do something, but it might just be the bare minimum to keep going. Or you
Yeah.
can make a choice to
Yeah.
change, and you can do that at any point. But not changing is also
Yeah.
making a choice.
Yeah. Just it's choosing not to
Yeah.
change. So stop waiting for it to get so bad because the eating disorder also tells you you're not, there's nothing wrong with you. Nah, you're not sick. Everyone else is worse. What are you on about? No, if it's affecting your life in a negative way, change it. And this is hopefully empowering this person to understand that, okay, I get to choose to recover for me. I'm afraid and let's go anyway.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. How do I create a life bigger than my eating disorder? Bulimia has consumed my life for so long, I don't know myself.
Oh. Well, I'm glad she doesn't know herself because that's what she's telling me through her words is the bulimia isn't herself, which is a
Yes.
positive. So, how does she create a life bigger than the eating disorder? First of all, write down all the ways the eating disorder is costing you. How is it costing you right now? Get really clear in black and white on what it's costing you and stopping you from doing. And then ask yourself, do I want something different? I'm assuming yes. And then you start creating. You won't, from the point where you're at now, you won't be able to think of or live now a life bigger than the eating disorder, because first of all you have to make that be smaller in order for something else to be bigger in comparison. And the way you make it smaller is by recovering. Well, obviously when you recovered, it's not there anymore, it's gone. So here I would like to say, have a vision, allow yourself to get creative with no pressure, allow yourself to play make believe like you did as a child. If you had a magic wand, what would you do in your life? How would your life be different? Just play here and just write down an imaginary life of like how life would be if you had a magic wand. And then start to think, okay, well, how can I start to create that now? And you will have to let go of the eating disorder in order to make space energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally for a bigger life. So you don't have a bigger life first. The bigger life happens as a result of recovering from an eating disorder.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I found it really hard to imagine a life, to think about what I wanted, because I honestly didn't know. But when you're making that list
Mm,
of what it's costing you and what it's taking away from you, right there, the things it's taking away from you are some of the things you want. You can see that if it's taking
mm,
away the ability to go out to lunch with a friend, then you want to go out for lunch with a friend.
yeah.
So you can build the most basic things just from what it's costing you.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, the opposite to that is, of course, what you
Yes,
want, but you've not got it because it's stopping you. Beautiful way of looking at it. So you've already got your answer in the cost letter.
yes. The very basics of it, yes. And then you can build from there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I say this for all of us, the past versions of us who had an eating disorder, and those that currently are in recovery or that have an eating disorder. Your eating disorder will guaranteed be costing you three things, if not more: your self-expression of your true, authentic self, receiving and giving love unconditionally, and freedom.
Absolutely.
So if it's costing you your self-expression, love, and freedom, it can be changed. And then you create a life that has all of those things in. And there's no looking back then, because you won't want to go back ever.
No, no. And that's even shown from the very opening of this call where we were s- like doing that role play, and it
Yeah.
felt so uncomfortable and so unfamiliar. And that just shows
Mm,
how much
yeah.
we couldn't go back now, because that is
Mm,
the unfamiliar. That's now out of our comfort zone.
exactly that. And a personal share to add on to this sort of the same thing. And I would usually share with you with a voice note, but I got interrupted in my voice note to you today. So I'll share now. Um, as you know, and people that follow me know, fitness has been a huge part of my life. Even after recovery, I've always been into fitness, whatever that means to people. And I've been working out twice a week as much as I can with my well, she's not newborn anymore, she's 5 months now. And my body still hurts a bit from birth. I'm still having a bit of issues with my back and my hip. And I'm like, yesterday I did a workout and I was like, what am I doing? My body is clearly saying, I don't want to do this. And the past few weeks, I've been doing it because I've been telling myself the story that I believe that it's really good to continue this, to support my body, to support the strength in its healing, to keep my fitness levels up so I can be a healthy individual, not from an eating disorder place, but just from a genuine, I don't know what word I'm looking for, a genuine place of, like, I guess, self care. But when I really looked at it, my body was saying, you don't want to do this. So as of like yesterday, I just decided I'm just not going to work out. I'm just going to do yoga instead and just allow my body to completely guide me, which I thought I was doing, but actually I realized I wasn't. And in that moment, I had to have a little bit of a pep talk with myself with compassion and say, sweetheart, your priorities have completely changed. Like, you're a new mom, you've got a full time business, you one of your top values now is present. So you can't be doing all the things all at the same time. It's like one thing at a time. You get to let this go. Self care and self love is actually choosing not to do this and just allow your body to guide you and take all the pressure off. And that just feels so good. But I had to bring my compassionate voice in extra, turbo compassionate, that enabled me to allow myself to let that go and just take that pressure off. And that feels a lot better. So I still need it in different times, just not the eating disorder stuff anymore.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had similar this week with people pleasing, and
Ah,
it I have stuck to my boundaries and not people pleased, and it felt so uncomfortable. And
mm,
I needed to bring in the compassion. I needed to bring in the it's okay, you have this boundary, you're allowed to keep this boundary, and however the other person reacts is up to them. Actually, they were absolutely fine, and my
mm,
discomfort was created in my own head. um,
yeah,
but yes, compassion continues right through the rest of your life, I think.
yeah. And that's the way forward with everything. That's the way to growth,
Yeah,
actually, I believe.
and also knowing that nobody's got all their shit together.
No, we haven't got our shit
Yeah.
together. We have got our shit together in terms of food and body,
Yes.
else we wouldn't be sat here teaching you how to do the same. But in life, I mean, no one will ever have their shit
No,
together.
no, and that's one thing that I always thought when I was in the eating disorder that everyone else had their shit together, and it was me that was
Mm,
struggling, and it made me think that everyone else was doing better than me, and
yeah,
they're not. We're all just getting through this life the best way we can.
we are. And we have to keep letting go in order to grow, letting go in order to
Yeah,
grow. And it's such a beautiful journey if we allow it to be.
yeah, yeah. Like you've said,
Yeah,
everything will be okay if you're okay with everything.
exactly. And the work is being okay with everything.
Yes,
And that's freedom. That's freedom, true freedom
it is.
and peace.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this, it's not a question, it's just a statement to ask us to speak to. I think this was from our lovely Sue in our dream team. I
Ah.
think pros and cons of recovery.
Yeah, I bet it is from C. Well,
Yay! So, yeah, go pros and cons. Let's start with cons, shall we?
the unknown.
Let's do a game where you say a word, I say it until we can't go anymore.
You're all with the games today.
You up for that?
Okay, can I still start with unknown?
Yeah. Missing the feeling of the high when I used to binge.
That is so more than a word. Okay.
Yeah, I meant a statement.
Okay, um, fear of judgment.
Oh, weight gain. But the thing is, it's not a con now, but at the place where someone's
Yeah,
asking pros and cons, I guess these are the cons that we're stating, like before you make the choice, right? I assume.
yeah.
We'll go with that.
Slow metabolism, which again feeds into the fear of weight gain, doesn't it? Because if you've been
Yeah.
restricting, your metabolism will have slowed down, and then everything takes longer to heal. And it's also even more scary about gaining weight because you know your metabolism's slow.
Yeah. I think we're doing this wrong because I'm just looking at the pros and cons of recovery and I'm like, recovery.
Okay,
So let's go with you and
okay.
I living in freedom, self expression, and love. What are the cons that we're experiencing now in recovery land? Let's go with that. Let's start again.
Okay.
Scrap that.
This is gonna be a great episode. Um,
Oh, I know. It's in this
okay,
place.
what's a con of living in freedom? Um, um,
The only one I can think of is the one I already shared, although I guess I don't really miss it, but I guess I do a little bit if I think about it, miss the high the binge used to give me.
Okay. Yeah, I've got one actually. The needing to grieve the past version of yourself.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And I've got another one. Although it doesn't matter too much to me anymore. Lack of connection with others because dieting and body image negativity is all that people seem to talk about. So it can feel quite separate when you're with generalized people who are just trying to body shame and talk about how bad they were at the weekend because they ate chocolate.
Yes, I think that's a con, and connection is a pro as well, because the connection you do
Mm,
have with people is deeper, more authentic, more honest, and so much more meaningful.
absolutely. I can't think of any more cons.
Um,
Can you?
it's a pro and a con, is the uncovering and allowing yourself to feel all the feelings that you've pushed down over the years. So it's hard, it's uncomfortable, it
Mm,
can be painful, but it's also a pro because it's releasing, it's healing, it's allowing yourself to let the past be in the past and live in the now.
yeah,
So
exactly that.
it's something that you need to go through if you want to fully recover. So that's kind of a con, but it's also a pro because it's part of what sets you free.
Mm, absolutely. Okay, let's play a 1 minute game of words back and
Of
forth.
the pros.
Of pros.
Oh,
Go on forever with the pros.
um, let's just go there. Sex drive,
Freedom,
spontaneity,
connection, true connection.
receiving love,
Good one. Peace.
presence,
Mm, fulfillment.
excitement,
Mm, hmm. What else? You've said love. You've said spontaneity, freedom, self expression, authentic self expression.
acceptance, self acceptance.
Yes. We could go on forever. But those, I mean, how much easier is it to list the
Oh,
pros than to
and we were
find
both a bit
a
stumped
con?
to begin with on the cons, weren't we? And they're
Yeah,
and
yeah,
realistically, when you think about the cons we talked about, they are only because of the eating disorder.
yes. So there is none.
No, I don't think there is.
There's no cons to recovery, is there?
No, I don't think there is, because they're all the ones we said about are only there because of the eating disorder.
Yeah, exactly that. So there are none. And the fears that you have, which might seem a con, you heal them through facing them in recovery
I
anyway.
remember you said to me once, and I was like, I do not believe a word of that, that you get excited when you find something that you're afraid of, because it's
Oh,
where you get to
yes.
uncover more and grow more and become a higher version of yourself. And I honestly just thought you were talking an absolute load of rubbish. And I was like, yeah, right, Victoria. And it's so true, because now when I'm really uncomfortable with something or I get fear about something, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Ooh, what do I get to uncover? And
Mm,
it is exciting. It's
yeah.
It's amazing that fear, which ruled my life, every moment of every day, now has become something that it's like almost unwrapping a present.
Yes, exactly that. If you stay present with the
Yeah,
unwrapping and know that on the other side of the unwrapping there's going to be growth and more peace and more surrender, it's a joy, dare I say, to face the fears and the triggers what are coming up, because it's like, oh goody, what's on, got to go through the shit first, but what's on the other side of
yeah,
this? It's only going to be growth because we allow it to be. We receive the growth
yeah.
and do the
And
work. Do the
it's
work. That's
something
a big
else you're not held back from.
yes. And that's again true
Yeah.
freedom if you're not held back. Usually by ourselves, we hold ourselves back
Yes.
and blame it on other people and other situations and other things, but we have the power to change it.
Yeah.
Wow, that went too fast, that half an hour, didn't it? But we're back soon with an hour. But this was an extra quickie because otherwise it would have been too long before we recorded the other one.
It
So
would. And I'm actually going to
keep
see
sending in
you
your
before our
questions.
next one.
You are. I was going to suggest doing one in person, but we've got other things to be doing together. We'll see how we feel. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, Julie's coming over here very shortly in next month. It's May
Yeah, so it's
today.
this
Next
month. It's the
month.
end of this month.
This
This month.
month. This
Yeah.
month, yes.
Like
How exciting.
4 weeks on Saturday.
Exciting. Well, I want to say we'll post it to our stories, but we probably won't because when you even came here the other week, we didn't even get one frigging photo.
No, because we were just being together, just not
Exactly.
even thinking about that.
We were being in presence.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It was only till you went, I was like, we didn't even get a photo together to post on Instagram. Not that we live for Instagram, but oh well, next time.
Right.
All right, loves. I'm on Power duty now.
Yeah.
I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm
So
coming. All right. And thank you, loves, as always, for listening. Any questions, send them to me and Julia.
absolutely.